Yo, what are they gonna say about you when you're dead? I mean, have you ever truly thought about that question? Hmm? What are they gonna say about you when you're gone? Or what do you want them to say about you when you're gone? Have you ever thought about writing your eulogy, or who's gonna be reading your eulogy? Right now, you might be 20, you might be 25, you might be in your 30s, you might be like, yeah, man, I don't gotta worry about that right now. Let's be honest. People die every day for any reason, at any time of the day, any hour, any second, any minute, right? And maybe you could go and they say, yeah, man, he had so much potential. He was gonna go after this thing. He was gonna do this. He was gonna do that. But it's just like, is that all you want to amount to? You right now, everything you've done today. Are you proud of everything you've done today? Do you feel like you should have done everything that you did today? Hmm? Truly think about that question. What are they gonna say about you when you're gone? And what do you want them to say about you when you're gone? It's like, man, let's say me, for example. Okay, Duno did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. He was aspiring for this, but he did this and did this and did this and did this. I want that list to be so long. Maybe it's my ego, maybe it's my pride, but I personally, I don't think I've accomplished enough to have anything on my, eulogy. Like if I were to disappear tomorrow, what are they gonna say? They're probably just gonna speak all about my potential, everything I could have done. How much that do you know how much that would suck for the only thing to be on your eulogy is what you could have done, what you could have been, who you could have been. Ain't that crazy? You know, the more you this might be a little bit of a dark video for some people, but the more you truly internalize that you will die someday, the more you can understand that, oh, maybe I don't have as much time as I thought I had, right? Maybe that will light a type of fire under you. I mean, even this YouTube video, I didn't even want to record it, where I'm just like, I don't have to record this video, but I told myself that I was going to do 365 videos straight. Like, I'm going to record every single day and upload every single day, right? Because these videos are almost like me journaling, right? It's one of these things where you have to consider these things. When you truly are aiming to be exceptional, you need to understand that, okay, someday somebody is probably going to be reading your eulogy, if that's the right word, right? Somebody's going to be reading what you could have done, or what you have done, or what you did do, who you inspired, who wanted to be like you, who respected you, who admired you, right? It's one of those things. Oh, some people are like, I don't need that many people at my funeral. It's not about how many people are at your funeral. It's why are those people at your funeral, right? How much noise will you being gone make? How much impact do you want that to be on people? Maybe you want to just disappear and nobody's sad, but think about that. The more you are able to impact people's lives, guess what? The more they care about you, even if they've never met you. As long as you release the video in the world and they watch that video and that video inspired them to change their lives, you have become an important person in their lives. Maybe they never meet you, right? Now imagine you create videos every single day. Now you're starting to impact thousands and thousands of people, and then you just disappear tomorrow. Maybe they don't know that you died, but somehow, some way, they will notice that you are gone, right? And the person who's going to be reading your eulogy, right? Maybe there's a couple, maybe 5, 10 people at your funeral, but maybe you become so big, so powerful, so famous that that eulogy is being broadcasted. Now thousands and thousands and thousands of people know the truth that you're gone now. What do you want them to say about you? What should they be saying about you? Think of this as an exercise. Literally, grab a pen and paper and write what you would want people to say about you if you just disappeared tomorrow. Who are you? Who could you have been? What have you impacted? What were your goals? Right? And look at it from a future perspective, right? Let's say you were going to disappear in 10 years. You knew the exact time and date, and that's it. What would you try to accomplish, or what would you aim to accomplish in these next 10 years? Let's say they gave you 20 years. Okay. What would you try to accomplish in these next 20 years? Some of you are like, well, I'm going to try everything. Okay, you're going to try everything. Cool. But for those of you that do want to impact, and those of you that do want excellence, that are pursuing excellence, what do you want to accomplish in these next 10 to 20 years that they've just now given you? They told you, yo, 20 years left, 10 years left. What are you going to aim to achieve in these next 10 to 20 years? And when you're gone, what do you want them to say about you? What should they say about you? Who is going to be reading it? I saw this on a podcast the other day. The dude was like, yo, I had a vision of my daughter. She was reading my eulogy, but I don't even have a daughter. And isn't that crazy? Like, part of him saw that. It was his daughter, his future. You know, he doesn't even know if he's going to have a daughter, but his daughter was the one that was reading his eulogy. So who do you think is going to be reading your eulogy in 10 years, 20 years? Now, again, I'm not saying this video for it to be some, dark or sinister type of video, but it's one of those things that you will be gone someday. You will die, right? And it's like, who are you? Who are you? What does your name mean? Does your name even matter right now? Do you want your name to matter? Do you not want your name to matter? What kind of man do you want to be remembered as? Are you going to be a man that every other man wanted to be like? Every other man admired and respected? Women admired and respected? Women wanted to be with? Or are you just going to be the guy that, oh, okay. Oh, he's gone now? Damn, okay. Think about the greats that people still talk about them today. That's how many people they impacted. Now, you may never impact that many people. And maybe you will. But that's only if you're striving for greatness. That's only if you're striving for excellence. It's like, how much work are you willing to put in that nobody is ever going to know about? Think about this. How much work are you willing to put in that no one will ever know about? And you're still going to be satisfied, right? It goes back to the same saying I always say. No one will ever truly see how hard you work, but they will see how good you get. So in the work that no one will ever see, how much of it are you willing to do? How hard are you willing to go? How deep are you willing to go? How high are you willing to jump? It's one of those things where it's like, what makes you brave is all the things that you've done in your life, right? That's why you're no longer a coward. That's why you're not a coward, because you've tried dangerous things, or you've been faced with danger countless times. So now it doesn't really faze you, right? But how many people have seen the dangers that you face? Probably not that many people. But you remember the dangers you faced. Man, stupid story, but I remember I went hiking with my ex, and we got to this peak of the mountain, and I dropped my AirPod. If it wasn't my AirPod, it was my case, one or the other. And it was literally, we're on the peak, and it's boom, whichever one, if just fell. And I'm just like, dang, well, she's here. I'm not going to say forget it and buy a new one. I'm gonna just go and get it. And I could have died, right? Obviously. And I could have never made it back, but I made the trip down anyway, climbed the trees down to the bottom of the mountain. And it's not like it's not like, oh, we're all the way at the top and it's steep, but it's such a sharp peak that climbing down, they would have stopped you. Police would have stopped you. Like, anybody would have stopped you if they saw you climbing down, right? So I climbed down, I grabbed it. The difficult part wasn't going down. The difficult part was going back up, because now it's slippery slopes, right? The grass is wet. The leaves are wet, right? and I'm trying to climb the trees, and they're breaking because they can't support my weight. So think about this. It was easy to get down, right? Because I just had to go down, but going back up, the trees, the branches couldn't support my weight. Eventually, I made it back up, and she was obviously she thought I wasn't gonna make it back up, right? She was ready to call somebody for help, but I was like, nah. Obviously, my pride is just like, nah, don't worry, I got this. And she was recording. I don't know if I still have the video, but it was interesting, and it showed me like, yo, like I was willing to do that. How many people? So many people would have been like, damn, forget it, I'll just buy a new one. But part of me was like, yeah, I'm not about to go buy a new one. I'm gonna just go down there and get it. Obviously, I wanted to show off, duh. But part of me, and like, think about this. You did that dangerous thing, so now you get to talk about it, right? How many dangerous things have you done that you get to talk about? I've done countless, countless things that I would consider dangerous, right? And it's not because I'm some sort of adrenaline junkie or anything like that. I've just done the dangerous things, and I've gotten over them, and now there's stories to tell, right? And I'm only 22, so I don't know how many more dangerous things I will try or attempt, in however many years I have left. And it's like, and that might sound dark, but none of us know how many years we have left, right? That's why your goal should be to do the most with the time that you have left, because you don't know how much time you have left. So all those days and nights and weeks and months that you're wasting not doing something productive, something that will just matter in a few years, putting a statement behind your name, it's one of those things that you must do, and you must master, and you must put all your focus into. And most people won't do that. But the more you do that, the further you'll be, the further you'll get ahead of all these people. And that's the most important part, And you've all had countless opportunities to do something dangerous. I'm sure you've had countless opportunities to do something dangerous and to not be a coward, but you probably chickened out. There's nothing wrong with chickening out. But how many times will you keep chickening out? How many times will you continue to be a coward? How many times? That's the question you need to answer, right? Because again, what will they say about you when you're gone? What do you want them to say about you when you're gone? Think about that. You disappeared right now. What would your parents say, siblings say, friends say? Would they be telling the truth, or would they make up lies? Isn't that crazy? Because think about this. You've had countless opportunities to change and be different, but you've denied every single one because there's definitely an inner bitch inside of you, and they keep winning the battle, right? There's an inner bitch inside every single one of us, and they stop you from changing your life the more you let them win that battle. So you need to start winning the battle. You need that mental toughness. You need to become mentally stronger, and the way you do that is by doing hard things, doing difficult things, doing the extra pull-up, doing the extra push-up, running the extra mile, because you're doing it because it's difficult, not because you want to, but because it's difficult, right? Because guess what? They won't see that extra effort, but they will see you're now able to run longer. You're now able to lift more weights. You're now able to push, and push when they've all given up, because you were willing to put the extra work when they didn't see it. They didn't see all those sweat and tears. They didn't see you staying up late at night, countless nights, crying or something. Like, they don't see those things. But you know about those things because you went through it. You were willing to put in the extra effort. You were willing to do the extra work. And now you get to reap the benefits. And the more you get to reap the benefits, the more you're going to want to put in more work, because now you have bigger goals, bigger dreams, bigger things to pursue, right? Now you're not just after money. Now you're after impact. Now you're not just after impacting a few hundred people. Now you want to impact thousands of people. Now you want to see how you can impact millions of people, right? And the dreams and the missions, your vision just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And now all of a sudden you disappear. but you've made a statement, right? It's like, think about this. When men went to war, they only remembered a few names, or only a few names were shouted. It's like, oh, who's on their team? Oh, this person's on that team. Oh, this person killed how many people? It's crazy, right? Why? Because they made a statement. Even though they were gone, even though they died, they left their mark, even amongst 10,000 warriors or something. Like, imagine 10,000 warriors, and you're one of the few people they talk about amongst 10,000, because you were able to take out a few hundred of theirs, or a few thousands of theirs, because you just put in the work to be that good. Your shot was a little bit better. Your accuracy was a little bit better. Your swinging the battle axe was a little bit better, right? You sharpened your blade a little bit more. So now it's just, right? Man, you guys, like, you must play this game. And it's a game, and it's a long game. But keep in mind that it could be gone just like that. Especially if you're not careful, right? And understand that the more work you put in, the more you get to reap the benefits. And the more those around you will respect you, admire you, want to be like you. Like, I'm at a point now, and I don't say this to brag, but I'm rejecting girls. Like, girls won't understand this. A girl might listen to this and be like, okay, that's not special. It's not. Because, girls reject guys all the time. And as guys, when you get to the point where you're able to reject women, it's different, because you used to get rejected, but now you're doing the rejecting. And I'm not saying it feels good or you want to reject them. You're just like, oh, you want me, but I don't really want you, right? And so I'm telling you, it's a complete world shift when you're rejecting women. As crazy as it might sound, I know you guys understand it, and the guys that are doing the rejecting, you understand it, right? Because it's a complete flip. Because think about this, we're the ones who are, approaching and blah blah blah, so we get rejected all the time. But when we're doing the rejecting, at first you're like, at least for me, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. She wants me, but I don't want her. That's crazy. She wants me, but, and then it's just like, it's adding up. Whew. Man, like, I'm telling you, I'm only 22, so I can't imagine what life is gonna be like when I'm 25, when I'm 30, when I'm 35. Because the work I'm doing now, I know it's gonna compound. These videos are gonna compound. The work I do for free for certain clients, I know it's gonna compound. But I have to stay focused. I have to stay consistent. I have to keep working hard. There's work that people will never know about. They will never see. And that's fine. Because I want them to see the end result of that work. I want them to see how good my physique gets. I want them to see the crazy tricks that I'm able to do when I'm at the gym. I want them to see, the cars, the houses, the private jets. You guys have no idea, man. You just gotta fall in love with the game, and you gotta keep playing the game until you die. That's really it. It's a game until you die. And as long as you're chasing excellence, and you're always making sure you're giving it your all, you'll never lose. You'll become a winner, and you'll become a winner amongst winners. What is that quote? Get rich or die trying. That's it. Get rich or die trying, gentlemen. That's it. Man, leave your comments down below. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Make sure you hit that subscribe. I'll speak to you guys on the next one. I hope you found value in this.